Alright, you guys, today we are going to learn how to multiply and divide integers. This is really simple, actually, and integer operations like adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing integers is actually one of my favorite things to do. As long as you remember, there are three basic rules. You will be able to multiply and divide integers, and this is later going to help you add and subtract integers. So you actually know one of the rules already. You already know that anytime you have a positive number and you multiply or divide it by another positive number, you end up with a positive answer. I'm doing plus signs instead of writing the word positive, but a positive number times a positive number is positive. So like 2 times 3 is 6. Another rule is if you have a positive number times a negative number, you will now end up, the answer is negative. And then the last rule that you need to memorize is a negative number times a negative number will get a positive number. And so if you kind of think about this, anytime you multiply or divide, if the two numbers have the same side, the same sign, your answer will be positive. If your two numbers that you're multiplying have or dividing have a different sign, the answer will be negative. And so I only wrote the rules for multiplying, but the rules for dividing are the same. And so now we are going to apply these rules. So like number 1, it says 4 times 3. That's two positive numbers. Two positives make a positive, so it's just 12. Number 2, though, negative 5 times negative 6. So you do 5 times 6 like normal. 5 times 6 is 30. And if you look, you have a negative times a positive. So there are two different signs, so you know that this is negative 30. Maybe I should write this for you, that it can also be a negative times a positive. It doesn't matter what order it's written in. Number 3, negative 12 times negative 2. So 12 times 2 is 24. And you have a negative times a negative, which will give me positive. So it's positive 24. You can write it like that, or if you really want to, you can write a plus there, but that's not really necessary. So number 4, 5, and 6, now we're dividing. So you apply the same rules, now we're just dividing. So positive 16 divided by negative 4. 16 divided by 4 I know is 4, and you have positive, and you have divided by a negative. So they're opposite signs, so your answer will be negative. Number 5, negative 40 divided by negative 5. So you have two negative signs. Two negatives make a positive, so your answer will be positive 8. And then the last one, 120 divided by 3. If you go off to the side and do long division, it goes in 40 times. And this is two positives, so the answer will stay positive. Alright, here you guys try the next ones. Same thing, you're just substituting. Okay, so 9x means, I'm going to rewrite it. but it means 9 times x, so 9 times 10. Two positives make a positive, so the answer is 90. Number 2, 240 divided by negative 15. So right now you have a positive divided by a negative, so that is going to be a negative answer. And then you can go off to the side and do some long division. I believe that goes in once. When you subtract, you get 9 left over. Bring down the 0. 90 divided by 15 is 6, so the answer will be negative 16. Number 3, x times y. So negative 12. You might, maybe I should have said this earlier, you might start seeing numbers inside parentheses, and that's just so the numbers with the negative sign kind of stay separate so that it doesn't look like you're subtracting. So if you see something that looks like this, that means negative 12 times negative 6. When the two parentheses are next to each other, that means to multiply. So a negative times a negative is a positive. So this is going to be positive 72. And then number 4, 824 divided by x, which means divided by negative 4. So this is what I mean. The negative 4 is probably, if you write it out, going to be in parentheses so that the negative sign stays separate from the rest of the problem so that you know that it is negative 4. So I know a positive and a negative will make a negative answer. And now just figure out what it's equal to. So it goes in twice. Bring down the 2. 4 does not go into 2, so add a placeholder. And then bring down the 4. 24 divided by 4 is 6. And so this is equal to negative 206. And then finally, the last question, it says, Maddie says that negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 is equal to 27. Is she correct? Why or why not? When you have 3 numbers like this being multiplied together, I would just do it step by step. So I first do negative 3 times negative 3. Negative times a negative is equal to a positive. So negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. You have still another 3 to multiply. If you do 9 times negative 3 now, you get positive times negative is negative. So the real answer should be negative 27. So you could say that Maddie is not correct because negative 3 times negative 3 was positive 9. And then multiplied by another negative 3 is negative 27. Alright, so that is basically multiplying and dividing integers. Like I said, very simple. All you guys need to do is memorize these rules. Positive times positive is a positive. Positive times negative is a negative. Negative times negative is a positive. Alright, let me know if you have a question. Thank you for watching.